May I have your attention please? हम तकरीब का वहीं से सिलसिला जोड़ रहे हैं जहाँ से टूटा था और गवर्नर सिंध कामरान खान टिसोरी साहब की जानिब से कुछ मोमेंटो पेश किए गए। हमारे साथ कुछ ऐसे ज़ीवकार मेहमान मौजूद हैं कि जिनका नाम लिए बगैर बात बनेगी नहीं। शहर में जा बजा उनकी बनाई हुई इमारतें उनकी शिनाख्त हैं और फिर उसके अलावा आबाद के चेयरमैन भी रहे। हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं फ़याज़ इलियास साहब, आपको हम यहाँ खुश आमदेद कहते हैं। कुछ देर के बाद हम आपसे चाहेंगे कि आप रोस्टम पर भी आकर बात करें, लेकिन अभी जो मौका है मैं एक ऐसी शख्सियत को स्टेज पर दावत देने जा रहा हूँ जिनका ताल्लुक़ ईमार पाकिस्तान से है। आप यहाँ आकर एक सेशन देने जा रहे हैं जो मलीर एक्सप्रेसवे के इम्पैक्ट, डेवलपमेंट और रीजनल इंसाइट्स के हवाले से है। मैं बहुत एहतराम के साथ मोहतरम जनाब ब्रिगेडियर हसन रज़ा साहब आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ कि आप स्टेज पर तशरीफ़ लाएँ और ब्रिगेडियर हसन रज़ा साहब बिल्कुल बुरा नहीं मनाएंगे अगर आप तालियां बजाएंगे तो।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। सबसे पहले तो आई वुड लाइक टू एक्सटेंड माय heartiest felicitation to the organizers who have organized this wonderful event, and it's pretty impressive. And they did ask me to come and say a few words about Malir Expressway. Malir Expressway has been one of a very important and a very old project which has been there in the books but was not seeing the light of the day. So by virtue of me being affiliated with this project for a couple of years, and I also was unable to make sure that the project realizes, but they still asked me to come and say a few words on this. So with this small preamble, I would like to, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I'd like to start this small talk that once Karachi came into being, we had wonderful thinkers in those times, 1950s or 55 and 60s, excellent engineers, excellent planners, and they made a lot of strategic decisions for the city. This wonderful project which came into reality was the super highway, which was linking Karachi with Hyderabad, which was a game changer. And similarly, there were a number of strategic development projects which were supposed to be there. Some of them did materialize, some of them did not. This Malir Expressway was also one of them. Karachi Northern Bypass was again one of them. So with passive times, these projects did see the light of the day. They now are supporting the city. Now, before I actually go into Malir Expressway, let's take a look what we are at Karachi. So Karachi was basically a small hamlet for fishermen, but because of its geostrategic location and the port, it caught the eye of the Britishers, and they converted into a wonderful port city to stage their military, and it was supporting the Britishers during the First World War and the Second World War. This old city suddenly converted into a wonderful street, a city of lights. And this is what we see Karachi as of today. Due to the strategic locations, it was always on the radar of the Britishers. They wanted to develop the city and did a fairly good job. And then on 14th of August 1947, when Pakistan came into being, Karachi was the first capital of the country, and which brought a very structural and controlled growth of the city. So once this North Nazimabad and the Federal Bay area and all these things, they came up in a very structured order. The capital was shifted to Islamabad in 1967, and thereafter the city became the leading industrial and the business hub for the entire country. But then what happened was, later the growth became unstructured, unplanned, and the city was unable to meet the mass migration to Karachi, which was coming from different urban and rural areas. People were seeking jobs and they were coming over to Karachi. Then in the 70s, the city started bursting with population growth, while the administration system and the institutions started collapsing under sheer weight of the exponential growth and the population density. A city with a very innocent traffic turned out to be a transportation nightmare. So this is our old Karachi, beautiful, wonderful. We had a tramway and the Victoria and a wonderful, I think this is the Hillman, a very old car. And this is what Karachi is now. It is a nightmare. And despite whatever we do, we are unable to handle this type of transportation and the traffic in the city. So then we had a report made by JICA in 2012. And JICA report was an eye-opener for everybody. And JICA report says by year 2030, Karachi would be a bustling city with population, would be the top 3 biggest, population-wise, the biggest cities in the world. And we need to keep abreast and do something about it. Now, this is the imagery I got from the Earth observation of sustainable environment. So the thick red dense is the densely populated areas of our city of Karachi. And this is getting denser and denser. And to look after the housing problem, we started converting the residential areas into commercial areas. The villas are brought down and the towers are coming up. The population density, which was 5 per 1,000 square yards, has become 500 per 1,000 square yards, and it is still increasing. So the planners and the engineers remain busy carrying out their studies after studies and kept on working on solutions. Since the system and the institutions were actually collapsing, and the effort remained in isolated pockets and lacked synergy. Decision-making remained missing, delayed, or the decisions which came, they came with a lot of caveats. Resultantly, a deep paralysis started prevailing, moving towards the status quo. Do nothing. So this is what Karachi is now facing. Now, let's talk about this report. This JICA study was carried out in 2012, and I believe it was the best report I've came across so far. A 500 pages report, which carried out a house-to-house survey of the economic groups, of the social group, and different areas. And at the same time, they carried out a 4-stage modeling, which is very remotely done, especially in Pakistan. This document is so comprehensive that I believe that it needs to be taught to the students of economics, statistics, and engineering. The outcome of the report startled everybody. It stayed a lot of heated discussion, but remains an eye-opener. Now, this report was written in 2012. We are in 2023. Now, the population growth vis-a-vis acute shortage of housing. Since it's a controversial subject, and I don't want to get involved in this, but this is what JICA report says, that by 2030, these are the figures what they reflect. We still need to be ready. We need to do something about it. Now, this is another report from the World Bank, and they show the city getting denser and denser every day. So addressing this housing shortage and to contain this haphazard growth, what is the solution? The solution is, it's not a rocket science. We need to have well-planned expansion into the suburbans of Karachi. Each suburban district should have a complete ecosystem and should be sustainable in all respects. A high-speed and efficient linkages between the downtown or the CBD to the suburban areas where people are going to live. An efficient, speedy logistic corridor from the Karachi port leading to the upcountry. Okay, so let's talk about evolution of the Malir Expressway. A very important and a strategic linkage which is right now in the process of being constructed, and we just keep our fingers crossed that the speed goes on so that we can have this and we can get the fruits of this Malir Expressway. So the concept of Malir Expressway was given by one of the great planners of Karachi, maybe in somewhere in mid-60s. And attempts were made to push this project, but lacked impetus due to the extensive cost to the tune of 84 billion. Now, I got affiliated with this project this was 2010, and the cost was 84 billion. So the 80 billion, 4 billion was not going to come, so this project was not going to happen.